I mean, I think I could have done a little bit better job controlling my own emotions, but I think it just started bad for us and then continued to snowball, and that's something we have to control a little bit better. Honestly, I think they're the hardest team in the league to guard, probably. I think their movement is incredible.
That felt like playoff basketball, and that's what I just kept telling our players. That's who they are. They're a good veteran team. They came out in the third quarter, and they got in our ass, and when they did, we didn't handle it very well. And then we let the officials rattle us as well, and that's growing and understanding.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely a line. I thought it was frustrating. I thought I got fouled a couple times there in the second half on mid-range jump shots, and sometimes your passion and your emotion can get to you, but that's never something I would ever change or anybody on our team would change. So.
Boston setting up Clark. ABC.
Great execution. Momentum swing. They need to get a stop here on defense.
Caitlin Clark made history once again, breaking the Indiana Fever's franchise record for three-pointers in a season. But her record-breaking performance wasn't enough to stop Cheryl Reeve's Minnesota Lynx from securing a pivotal win in this high-stakes WNBA matchup. Despite the Fever coming in hot with a 5-game winning streak and Clark continuing to electrify the WNBA, the Lynx, powered by Napheesa Collier and clutch plays from Kayla McBride, proved too much to handle. Let's dive into this game recap, the ongoing rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Cheryl Reeve, and what this means for the WNBA playoff race. This game had everything you could want in a WNBA showdown: personal rivalries, playoff implications, and top-tier talent. Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever's rookie sensation, has been nothing short of spectacular this season, averaging over 20 points per game, breaking franchise records, and leading the Fever to 5 straight wins. Clark came into this game with everything to prove, especially against Minnesota Lynx coach Cheryl Reeve. Ever since Clark's shocking Olympic team snub, a decision that Reeve was heavily involved in, tension has been brewing between the two. Reeve has been largely dismissive of the controversy, but for Caitlin Clark, every game against the Lynx feels personal, and this matchup was no different. The Minnesota Lynx, one of the top teams in the WNBA, were ready to defend their home court at the Target Center. Napheesa Collier has been a force all season, and with Kayla McBride's sharp shooting and Reeve's tactical coaching, the Lynx came into this game prepared to send a message, not just to the Fever, but to the entire league. The Indiana Fever came out strong, driven by Caitlin Clark's dynamic playmaking and Aaliyah Boston's dominant presence in the paint. Early on, it looked like the Fever had the upper hand, as Clark set up Boston for easy buckets and controlled the pace of the game. Clark's performance was highlighted by her record-breaking moment in the second quarter when she hit her 103rd three-pointer of the season, setting a new Indiana Fever franchise record for most three-pointers in a single WNBA season. At halftime, despite Clark's 17 points, Minnesota had rallied back to take a narrow 50-45 lead. Napheesa Collier was a dominant force, scoring 14 of her 26 points in the first half and keeping the Lynx within striking distance. Kayla McBride's outside shooting and Natisha Heidemann's perimeter defense were also pivotal in stopping Indiana's momentum. As the game progressed, the Lynx continued to pull away. Collier's inside presence, combined with McBride's accuracy from deep, extended Minnesota's lead to 12 points by the end of the third quarter. Yet the Fever weren't finished. Caitlin Clark refused to back down, leading a fourth quarter surge that cut the deficit to just 1 point with over 4 minutes remaining. But when it mattered most, the Minnesota Lynx executed flawlessly. Heidemann's clutch and one layup pushed the lead back to 8 points, sealing the game. Despite Clark's heroics, including finishing with 25 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists, the Fever couldn't complete the comeback. The final score? Minnesota Lynx 99, Indiana Fever 88. Key players for the Lynx included Napheesa Collier with a 26-point, 10-rebound double-double, and Kayla McBride, who knocked down crucial three-pointers. The Fever saw strong performances from Kelsey Mitchell, who scored 23 points, and Aaliyah Boston, who added 20 points and 5 rebounds. But it wasn't enough to stop Minnesota from snapping Indiana's 5-game winning streak. After the game, Cheryl Reeve acknowledged Caitlin Clark's impact, but highlighted what truly sets her apart. Reeve remarked, "The single best thing that she does that young players don't do is she plays at an incredible pace. Pace can get you really, really far." And there's great value in that. Pace and passing are her two greatest things. While her comments seemed respectful, Reeve's satisfaction with the win was evident. Although she praised Clark's performance, her focus remained on the Lynx's execution and ability to finish the game strong. It's not just about individual talent, Reeve continued. It's about how you play as a team in those critical moments. And tonight, we did exactly that. Reeve's words underscore the essence of this ongoing rivalry. Caitlin Clark may have set another WNBA record, but Reeve and the Lynx once again demonstrated the importance of experience in team dynamics in winning critical games. While the post-game comments were respectful, the underlying tension between Clark and Reeve remains palpable, especially given their shared history, including the Olympic snub. Reeve's recognition of Clark's exceptional pace and passing didn't hide the fact that this was a crucial victory for Minnesota, and Reeve made sure to emphasize the Lynx's collective effort in overcoming Clark's brilliance. "We're here to win," Reeve added, "and as much as individual performances matter, it's the team that gets you through games like these." So where does this rivalry go from here? Caitlin Clark may have set another record, but Cheryl Reeve's Lynx got the last laugh, for now, with playoff implications looming and the personal tension far from resolved. The next chapter of this rivalry is bound to be even more explosive. Will Clark get her revenge the next time they meet, or will Reeve's experience continue to outshine the rookie star? One thing is for sure, this rivalry is only heating up, and the WNBA playoffs will bring even more drama. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over.
Clark.
Continuing to get better. I think we could have executed a little bit better on offense, but they're a really good defensive team. So we got a little stagnant. We didn't get out in transition probably as much as we would have liked, but we did some good things, but also some things we can learn from.
Watch it back. I'm not sure if we're going to love that we were small. You know, maybe we should have stayed big and get a little more pressure on the inside, but analytics during the game showed us that we were better small, so we did it.
Welcome to Minneapolis, Minnesota, where we are inside a sold-out Target Center. Indiana getting ready to take on Minnesota.
Really good team, you know, on both ends of the floor. I mean, defensively, they're one of the best teams in the league. You know, then they've got some pretty good weapons on the offensive end.
The tension between Caitlin Clark and Cheryl Reeve is about to explode in the WNBA. This Friday, September 6, 2024, the Indiana Fever and Minnesota Lynx face off again at the Target Center in Minneapolis. And the drama between Clark and Reeve is still fresh after Clark's shocking Olympic team snub. Reeve, head coach of the Lynx and a key figure in Team USA decisions, faced major backlash for her role in keeping Clark off Team USA. Now they're meeting on the court in a high-stakes WNBA showdown. The Fever have dominated the Lynx recently, winning their last 3 meetings. But with playoff implications and personal pride on the line, this matchup feels different. It's not just about winning, it's personal. Will Caitlin Clark get her revenge and lead the Fever to victory? Or will Cheryl Reeve and the Lynx silence the rookie star? Let's start with the core of this WNBA rivalry, the Olympic snub. Caitlin Clark, the #1 pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, has been a standout rookie for the Indiana Fever, averaging 17.8 points, 8.3 assists, and 5.8 rebounds per game. Her electrifying performances have made her one of the biggest stars in women's basketball, but when the Team USA Olympic roster was announced, Clark's name was shockingly absent. This sparked outrage among WNBA fans, with many pointing fingers at Cheryl Reeve, who, although not part of the selection committee, had major influence as a national team coach. Reeve's response to the backlash? She didn't hold back. When asked about the snub, she bluntly responded, "Why the hell would I answer a national team question?" This comment added fuel to the fire, making it clear that there was tension between the two. Now, as the Fever and Lynx prepare to clash, the rivalry has reached its boiling point. The stakes are high, not just for playoff positioning, but for personal redemption. On the court, Caitlin Clark has been on a mission. The Indiana Fever have been on a tear recently, winning 8 of their last 12 games, including their last matchup against the Lynx on July 15, 2024, where they secured an 81-74 victory. In that game, Clark was unstoppable, and Kelsey Mitchell added firepower, scoring 27 points in a recent game against Seattle. The Fever have now won their last 3 meetings with the Lynx, and they'll be looking to extend that streak on Friday. Key players to watch for the Fever include Caitlin Clark, of course, but also Kelsey Mitchell, who's been averaging 17.7 points per game, and Aaliyah Boston, the dominant center, averaging 14.0 points and 9.0 rebounds per game. Boston's efficiency, with a shooting percentage of 52.7%, makes her a major threat inside the paint. Nalissa Smith adds depth with her 11.4 points and 7.8 rebounds per game, giving the Fever a well-rounded attack. The Fever will need all their star power to keep their momentum going in this crucial WNBA game. The Minnesota Lynx, however, are no easy opponent. With a strong 16-8 record, they're battling for the top spot in the Western Conference, trailing only the Las Vegas Aces. Leading the Lynx is Napheesa Collier, who's been phenomenal this season, averaging 20.7 points and 10.2 rebounds per game. Collier's versatility and ability to impact both ends of the floor make her a key player to watch. Her head-to-head battle with Caitlin Clark will be one of the most exciting matchups of the night, as the rookie and the seasoned all-star go toe-to-toe. Other key players for the Lynx include Kayla McBride, who's averaging 15.7 points per game and shooting a blistering 42.1% from three-point range. McBride's sharp shooting will be crucial for the Lynx if they want to break through the Fever's defense. Courtney Williams, who leads the team with 5.4 assists per game, will play a vital role in facilitating the Lynx offense, while Alana Smith brings defensive intensity, averaging 1.5 steals and 1.7 blocks per game. The Lynx are determined to bounce back after recent losses, and a win against the Fever would secure their position in the WNBA playoff race. This game has huge playoff implications for both teams. The Fever, currently with an 11-14 record, are pushing for a postseason spot. A win over the Lynx would give them critical momentum as they head into the final stretch of the regular season. For the Lynx, a victory is just as important. Sitting at 16-8, they're chasing home court advantage in the playoffs, and every win counts as they aim to keep pace with the Las Vegas Aces at the top of the Western Conference standings. Historically, the Fever and Lynx have had an intense rivalry. The Lynx hold a 25-13 record in their matchups since the Fever joined the WNBA in 2000, but the tide has turned recently. The Fever have won their last 3 games against the Lynx, and with both teams vying for crucial playoff positioning, this game has added weight. The Fever are on the rise, and this game will determine if they can continue their dominance or if the Lynx will reassert their control. But let's get back to the headline. Caitlin Clark versus Cheryl Reeve. This game is personal for Clark, who is determined to prove she belongs among the elite. Her Olympic snub still stings, and Reeve's dismissive comments haven't been forgotten. Reeve's blunt remarks, including when she downplayed the cheers for Clark in a previous game by saying,
It's all around the league. But as a coach of the home team, there's going to be a lot of people cheering for that other side.
I don't get 2 shits.
How about 1?
Not even 1 shit.
have only added to the drama. Reeve's competitive nature will be on full display as she looks to break the Fever's winning streak and take control of this matchup. The player-to-player rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Napheesa Collier is another exciting element of this WNBA showdown. Clark, known for her scoring, playmaking, and leadership, will face off against Collier, who brings all-star experience and a balanced game to the court. They've never played against each other in the WNBA, but their college battles when Clark played for Iowa and Collier for UConn have only increased the anticipation for this head-to-head matchup. Then there's the battle of the shooters, Kelsey Mitchell versus Kayla McBride. Both are lethal from beyond the arc, and their scoring could swing the momentum of this game. Mitchell's 17.7 points per game and McBride's 42.1% three-point shooting will be key factors to watch as these two go shot for shot. Their performances could very well determine which team comes out on top. So what will happen on Friday night? Will Caitlin Clark prove she belongs on Team USA and lead the Fever to another victory? Or will Cheryl Reeve and the Lynx put an end to the Fever's hot streak? With playoff implications, personal drama, and star players like Clark, Collier, Mitchell, and McBride all taking the court, This game promises to be one of the most intense matchups of the season. It's not just about basketball anymore, it's personal. Don't miss it.
Caitlin is just a rookie in the WNBA. Wasn't playing bad, but wasn't playing like she's playing now. If we had to do it all over again, the way that she's playing, she would be in really high consideration of making the team.
The WNBA team simply dominated Team USA. And guess who shined? Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. But wait, there's more to this story. Cheryl Reeve, and the coach of Team USA, had something to say before the game.
Is there any second guessing here about not having Clark on the Olympic team?
From me? No.
Coach, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it looks like someone underestimated the rookie sensation and ended up losing to the WNBA team. By the way, Clark not only played well, she broke the assist record. And Reese? She pulled off a double-double that left everyone stunned. In this video, we're going to break down everything that happened in this epic game. We'll go over the performances of Clark and Reese and how Cheryl Reeve's strategy backfired. There's controversy, records, twists, everything we love about basketball. Let's start by addressing the elephant in the room, Cheryl Reeve. For those who don't know, she is the coach of the USA Olympic team. Days before the All-Star game, Reeve made some pretty controversial statements about Caitlin Clark. But why all the animosity? Well, we don't know exactly, but what we do know is that Clark made history in this All-Star game. Clark set the record with 10 assists for rookies in the All-Star game. That's right, in her first All-Star appearance, she nearly broke a record that many veterans haven't even come close to. Clark showed game vision, precision in passing, and an incredible ability to read the court. She not only distributed the game, but did so in a way that elevated the performance of the entire WNBA team. And you know what's even more impressive? She did all this under enormous pressure. Just imagine her first appearance in the All-Star game after all the controversy with Reeve and with the eyes of the entire basketball world on her. Many people would have crumbled, but Clark shined. This WNBA team's victory not only silenced the critics, but also raised an important question. How can someone with this talent be left out of the Olympics? Clark's performance in the first half of the season was certainly Olympic-worthy. But besides Clark, we have to talk about Angel Reese. While Clark dominated with assists, Reese showed why she is considered one of the most promising rookies in the league. Reese managed an impressive double-double, scoring 12 points and grabbing 11 rebounds. And don't think these were easy rebounds. Many of them came from the attack, with Reese outpacing her opponents and positioning herself perfectly to get the ball. What makes this performance even more notable is that Reese started the game on the bench. She wasn't in the starting lineup, but when she entered the court, she made sure to show why she deserved to be there. Now let's talk about the MVP of the game, Araike Ogunbowale. If Clark and Reese represented the future, Ogunbowale showed that the present of the WNBA is also brilliant. She had a simply spectacular performance, finishing the game with 34 points. But the most impressive part, she made 8 out of 13 three-pointers. That's right, the numbers are impressive on their own, but those who watch the game know they don't tell the whole story. Ogunbowale wasn't just making open shots. She was creating space, doing step backs, and hitting shots from long distance, often with defenders right on her. Her performance was crucial for the WNBA team's victory. Every time Team USA threatened to make a comeback, there she was with a three-pointer to maintain the lead. She didn't just score, she scored at the right moments. Ogunbowale's performance also highlights the depth of talent in the WNBA. We have Clark and Reese representing the future, but we also have players like Ogunbowale showing that the present of the league is in great hands. Want to know more about how these stars are changing the game? Keep watching. Now let's talk about Team USA's performance in the decisions of Coach Cheryl Reeve. Despite their stellar lineup, Team USA couldn't effectively compete against the WNBA team. Players like Breanna Stewart and A'ja Wilson had solid performances. Stewart scored 31 points, and Wilson contributed 22 points and 6 rebounds. But it wasn't enough. The problem seemed to be more in the strategy and team chemistry than in individual talent. Several players seemed lost on the court, and the lack of cohesion was evident. especially when compared to the fluidity of the WNBA team's play. The criticism of Cheryl Reeve was intense after the game. Many questioned her player choices and, more importantly, her decisions during the match. One point of criticism was the lack of tactical adjustments throughout the game. Even with the WNBA team dominating, Reeve seemed reluctant to change her strategy. This contrasted sharply with the flexible and adaptive approach of the WNBA team coach, Cheryl Miller. Think this was a one-off issue? Let's dive deeper. This game raised serious questions about Team USA's preparation for the upcoming Olympics. If they can't dominate an all-star game, how will they fare against well-trained and motivated international teams? The defeat of Team USA is not just a surprising result, it's a wake-up call. It shows that individual talent is not enough. You need strategy, team chemistry, and strong leadership from the coaching staff. The clock is ticking, and the Paris Games are approaching quickly. So, what does all this mean for the future of the WNBA and women's basketball in the USA? We're at a crucial turning point. On one hand, we have Clark and Reese, two rookies who have just proven they can not only compete but dominate on a stage with the best players in the world. They represent a new generation of talent coming to the league with exceptional skills and a winning mentality. On the other hand, we have the established Team USA, led by Cheryl Reeve, who seems to be struggling to adapt to this new reality. The reluctance to recognize and embrace these new talents could cost them dearly in international competitions. The question that hangs in the air is, will Reeve and USA Basketball be able to make the choices that truly represent the best of American women's basketball? Or will we see talents like Clark being left out again for reasons beyond on-court performance? The USA has a tradition of dominance in Olympic women's basketball, but this hegemony could be at risk in the upcoming Olympics if the right decisions are not made. Curious about what could happen next? Stay tuned! This All-Star game may have been just a preview of the drama to come. The tension between the old guard and the new generation, between tradition and innovation, is reaching a boiling point. The outcome of this battle could very well determine the future of women's basketball in the United States and the world. Guys, what we saw in this All-Star game was more than just an exhibition game. It was a glimpse into the future of women's basketball and a warning about the need for change. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese proved that the hype around them is more than justified. They not only competed on par with the veterans, but, in many moments, outperformed them. Clark nearly broke a historic assist record, while Reese dominated the rebounds. Ogunbowale reminded us that the WNBA is full of established talents that continue to evolve and surprise. Her MVP performance was simply spectacular and crucial for the WNBA team's victory. Want to be part of the action? Make sure you're in the loop. On the other hand, the performance of Team USA and Cheryl Reeve's decisions raised serious questions about their preparation for the Paris Olympics. It's time for USA Basketball to reassess their strategies and player selection to ensure they are truly representing the best of American women's basketball. So, what did you think of this All-Star game? Do you think Clark and Reese deserved a chance on the Olympic team, or do you agree with Cheryl Reeve's current approach? Leave your opinions in the comments. I want to know what you, who follow basketball closely, think about all of this. Your insights are super important to enrich this discussion. And if you enjoyed this analysis and want to stay on top of everything happening in the world of women's basketball, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Activate the notification bell too, so you don't miss any videos. The WNBA is going through an incredible moment, and together we can follow and discuss every development in this exciting league. See you in the next video, guys.